So the first thing you need to make sure of is that everything is to the left of the equal sign and there's a 0 on the other side. If there's not a 0, just put equal 0. And there's one section that just wants you to factor, but I want you to do the same thing, so just make it equal to 0 and do what we're doing here, okay? And you're going to ask yourself, what times what is the last number, which in this case is a 15, and added together is the middle number, which is a negative 16. Remember, the sign goes with the numbers. So how can I multiply two numbers together and get a 15, positive 15, but adding them together gives me a negative 16? What two numbers multiplied together equal 15 and added together equal negative 16? Two numbers multiplied together give you 15. Negative 1 and negative 15 equal 15. And when you add them together, negative 1 plus negative 15, you get negative 16. You understand what you're doing?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, there's a way on the calculator to do this. Some of these are so easy, they're hard, kind of, because you can't figure it out. But there's a way on the calculator to do this. What you're going to do is go to your y equals screen. Okay? And on the first y equal, you're going to put the last number over x, which in this case is 15 over x. Everybody put that in your first y equals screen. On your second y equals screen, you're going to put negative x plus the middle number, which is negative x minus 16. Now, once you have those two equations in your y equals screen, 15 over x and negative x minus 16, you're going to hit second window and start at 0, table start. And you're going to go, well, in this case, if you have to add it together to get a negative 16, you know there's negative numbers involved, right? So go up, hit the up arrow, and what you're looking for is you're looking for an x, a y, and a y. You want these two to be equal. So keep looking until you find those two equal. Did you find it? And it says negative 1, negative 15, negative 15, correct? When you find where the y column is the same, which in this case is negative 1, negative 15, negative 15, these are the two numbers in question right here. So you're going to make one parenthesis and say x minus 1, and the other one x minus 15. That's how you factor that trinomial. Now you just make x minus 1 equal to 0. So x equals 1, and x minus 1 equals to 15. I mean, x minus 15, I don't know what I'm doing. X minus 15 is equal to 0. So x equals 15. So this is the factor, and this is the solution. That means that that equation is factored that way, so we factored it, and we went on to solve it. That is where that equation hits the x-axis, at 1 and at 15, okay? So this is going to factor as x plus 2, x minus 24 equals 0. Use those two numbers, which means x equals negative 2 and x equals 24. So that's what I want on your answer. For tonight's homework, when the x squared is not naked, when it has a number on the front, it will always be able to be factored out for tonight. The next thing I teach you, it will not be able to be factored out. So that's when we go to plan B. But for tonight, they're always going to be able to be factored out. So does 4 go into 20 and 24 and 4 evenly? Yes. So the first thing you're going to do if there's a number in the front is factor it out. So you have 4 and you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. Okay? Now you proceed to factor this the way we've just been factoring. What times what is 6, and added together is 5. So 2 and 3. So this ends up being 4, parenthesis, x plus 2, x plus 3 equals 0. And we make each one of these equal to 0. So x equals negative 2 and x equals negative 3. So there's your two answers, and here's your factored form. Don't forget the 4, but he really doesn't have any bearing on the answer, okay? Once the 4 is out, he's kind of just sitting out there in the cold.